What's up, you guys? My name is Shelby if you're new to my channel, and I recently graduated from Texas A&M University, so I thought now would be the perfect time to do a little college Q&A if you're maybe an incoming freshman, or if you're thinking about going to A&M, or if you're just curious, I don't know. So I asked you guys for questions and you definitely came through. Question number one that multiple people asked me: why A&M? Honestly, at the time that I committed to A&M, I really don't even think I knew that much about it. All I knew was that it was an hour 15 away from my house. I knew what the campus looked like. I liked all of the trees on campus. I liked College Station. It reminded me a lot of my hometown. I liked that everyone was really friendly there. I knew that A&M had a lot of traditions. I may not have known what they were, but I liked the idea of that. That just seemed like something I would be into. That's pretty much all I knew, and that was enough for me to commit. But I think the main reason I decided to go here was just because of the location. It was so close to my house. Probably my favorite thing about it now is just the Aggie network slash sense of like family or like unity at A&M. There's a really strong sense of unity at A&M. So I didn't really know about that coming into it, honestly, but coming out of it, I really like that about A&M. Like, it really does feel like you're a part of the Aggie cult. Also, I like the size of it. It was really big, and I wanted that because I went to a really big high school. What was the biggest difference between high school and college? The way your day is scheduled. In high school, it's just one big block of classes, and that was really bad for my anxiety personally. But in college, your day is broken up a lot more. You have more time in between your classes. Some days you might not even have classes. And more than anything, you just have like complete and total control over your schedule. Of course, you're also living alone and a lot more responsibility. I feel like those are pretty obvious, but yeah. What was the best part of your college experience, and why was it the Writing Center? The Writing Center is definitely up there. So I didn't want to talk about this when I actually worked there, but now that I've graduated, I think I can tell you all. I did work at the University Writing Center for 3 years. I was a writing consultant slash tutor there for 2 years, and then the third year I ran their Instagram and YouTube accounts. Third year, not quite the same vibe because it was during COVID, and I feel like the main reason I liked working at the Writing Center was because I loved my coworkers, I loved meeting people. But for sure, when I was tutoring, that was such an incredible experience. I think most people who leave the Writing Center agree that it's going to be hard to find a job that lives up to it. I loved just feeling like I was helping people. It was such a rewarding job. Besides that, I mean, I have to say my org. The organization that I was in for the majority of my college experience was TAMU Content Creators. Follow us on Instagram at TAMU Creators. It was literally an org for YouTubers, podcasters, photographers, just creative people like me. Same situation with the Writing Center, where my third year was a lot less fun than the other two just because of COVID. But nonetheless, I met some of my favorite people in that org. I have so many fun memories of hanging out with them, just fun memories at the meetings, and my favorite time period was definitely the last few months. Literally, best few months of my life have been the last few months, which is very contradictory to what I was saying about COVID. But having graduated, if you could go back and change anything, would you, and what would it be? I wish I would not have taken so many hours my first semester. I think I took 16, and literally all I did was homework. Like, that's all I had time for. What's your least favorite thing about college? I did not like walking to class in the heat. When it was a sweltering 97 degrees outside, feels like 105. Everybody would show up to class drenched in sweat. I wouldn't be able to cool down. Horrible. Oh my gosh. Also, I took a ton of English classes because I'm an English minor, but I probably could have gotten a double major in it if I wanted to. I read so many depressing books. There was a minute there where I was literally having nightmares about the books I was reading in class. So, how was college compared to before the pandemic and now? Everything was just so much worse after the pandemic. Like, obviously everything went over Zoom. You lost a lot of the social interaction of class. Like, people did not want to talk in class like they did in person. Classes were a lot more boring. I would pay way less attention to class. But on the bright side, I definitely got really close to some of my friends after the pandemic because you could only hang out with like a select amount of people. What advice would you give to a freshman? Very carefully choose where you sit on the first day of class. Sit next to somebody else who looks like they're your age and looks like they also don't know anyone in that class, especially if it's a small class, because if it's a small class, you'll probably end up sitting in those seats for the rest of the year, and you want to make sure that you're sitting next to a potential friend or somebody you can at least get help from. But this also applies to bigger classes too if you're interested in making a friend in that class. It's somebody to ask questions to at least. I don't know. Other advice, try to treat college like it's a fresh start. You can do whatever you want to do, be whoever you want to be. You could dress like a different person every day. You could act differently every day. Because for real, there's like no reputation in college. Nobody knows who you are. You don't have to worry so much about what people think of you because you don't even see the same people every day. It's really fun, so be excited for it, I guess, is my advice. When did you start looking for a job after college? I started looking for a job, I think like the last month of school maybe, and I've just been looking since then. From what I hear, people are more willing to give you the time of day if you've already graduated though. What is your best college memory? Well, I said the last few months of school were really good. They definitely were. There was one specific weekend where I woke up to 1,000 subs, went to get myself Dunkin', went to a football game, and then that night went to A&M's ring dance, which is kind of like a senior prom type situation, all in one day. And then the next day I spent all day filming something I cannot speak of yet with a bunch of my friends. And that night I got tacos and watched the sunset over Lake Bryan with one of my friends. And it was like the best weekend ever. Like, I feel like I'll never forget that weekend. Other than that, well, during COVID, when Northgate was all closed and we couldn't go out, me and my friend made a fake Northgate in her apartment called North Fake, and it was literally just me and her, and we put on like a fake club on the TV. We played music, we got lights, we got dressed up, we had a little stuffed animal bartender, gave him our IDs, the whole shebang, and just like danced. And even though I've had several North Fakes since then at my apartment, I feel like nothing will ever top the first one. What was your favorite Kyle Field moment? Now, if you're asking for something that happened on Kyle Field, I have no idea. I went to the games and I did not watch them. I was present at the most. So don't know what my favorite moment like on the field was. I know there was like that crazy 7 overtimes or whatever thing at like the LSU game maybe, I don't know. But my favorite memories on Kyle Field that have to do with me and not the game of football. Number 1, the first game I ever went to, I still feel like I remember it. Just like the feeling of climbing up all the way to the very top of the football stadium and looking out and being like, oh my gosh, I'm so high up. There's so many people here. You can just like feel the spirit. It was just like the craziest energy. But also my senior year, I actually got to walk out onto the football field like multiple times for different reasons, but the first time was really cool. I was helping somebody with a campaign video and I got to go into the football field from where the football players enter. Explain how you stay organized. I had matching calendars. It was like a desk calendar that I would lean against the wall in front of my desk that was really big that I would write all my homework on, and I would just do like each class in a different color. I would just write bullet points and you memorize pretty quickly like which color is which. I never even had to write a code or anything, and I would cross stuff off as I went. And then I had like a normal personal calendar that matched the wall calendar that I would hang on the wall to write like personal events on, people's birthdays and fun things I was going to, like non-school related stuff, so I could actually separate the stuff I was excited about from like my homework. And that was basically it. The key is really just time management. Like once you have everything laid out, you're not going to forget about a project. It's just a matter of doing it, giving yourself enough time to do it, I guess. And yeah, even though there's a lot of stuff to do, if you incorporate fun things into your schedule, it's going to give you the motivation. At least it worked for me, to do the not fun stuff. Like if you're literally staring at an entire week of homework, you're not going to to feel very motivated to do it. But if you also schedule like hanging out with friends and studying with friends, oh my gosh, then you'll be more motivated to finish your homework before you meet up with them. Or you do your homework when you're with them, which I did a lot. You just gotta find your favorite coffee shop. And then final question, as a freshman, how do you deal with being away from family? Is it difficult? You know, it's kind of hard for me to remember, but I feel like I was so busy with school freshman year that I literally didn't have time to just wallow and missing my family. Given, I would call them like every single day. I would FaceTime them if I ever had a question or I wanted to tell them something. And I was so close to home, I could go home whenever I wanted to on the weekends. So yeah, it was easier for me because of that. But if you're going to school further away from home, I will give you a little bit of hope that you're gonna be so busy and so like, there's gonna be so much new incoming stuff that you're probably not gonna have a lot of time to just sit around missing your family. So yeah, those are all of my questions. It is currently 10:30 at night, so I think I'm gonna wrap up the video here. I'm losing the ability to speak by the minute. If you have any other questions, you're welcome to comment them down below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Subscribe to my channel if you want more videos from me. I do all types of stuff, and I also recently made a video about A&M. It was like my personal tour of campus. If you're coming to A&M, I urge you to watch that one. It'll give you the inside scoop of some stuff to look forward to. But yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you're not already. I can't remember if I said that. I'm so tired.
Stop.